So I've been trying to hit 2,000 subscribers for a while now. I'm starting to think you guys just don't fuck with me. To gain your trust, I'm gonna play you guys a song, and hopefully you guys can get me to 2,000 subscribers. 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 That's all I want is 2,000 subscribers. Suck my dick. Give me to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you. The video today is about a teacher touching her kids. They made like a whole small documentary about it. It's funny because when I was a kid, I always wanted to fuck my teachers. But the fact that, kids nowadays snitch makes me feel weird. But I do understand. I'm not going to ramble too long. Let's get straight to the point.
Miss Amora, did you have an inappropriate relationship with a 13-year-old boy, one of your students? Miss Amora, do you have anything to say, teachers?
This two-time Teacher of the Year is now serving a 20-year sentence for doing something unthinkable to her 13-year-old student.
They'll talk to you and everything, explain what they're doing, but just sit tight, okay?
What type of perverted person are you? I want to know right now. You're a child molester. Do you understand me? No.
Why do you say that?
Brittany Zamora is a predator, and her prey was the young, impressionable kids at Las Brisas Academy in Goodyear, Arizona. Up until her arrest, Brittany's life was picture perfect. She was newly married, and her career was taking off. She and her husband went on all kinds of adventures. He even proposed to her on a skydiving trip. Her students loved her, and she loved them too. Perhaps a bit too much.
When it comes to predators, I never think about women being predators. I always think about men doing this type of stuff, but seeing a woman do it, that just put me in a whole other mental space.
In the fall of 2017, just as she started her new job, police say Zamora began grooming one of her 6th grade students. It began on one of her days off after she sent a message on a classroom messaging app saying, "Hey guys, I'm going to be out of school, so text me if you get bored because I'll be bored too." A 13-year-old boy, let's call him Tommy, texted her simply saying, "Hi, Mrs. Zamora." They went back and forth for the rest of the day. It was a friendly conversation that quickly turned into aggressive flirting. They said they loved each other, and she talked about wanting to do stuff with him.
I don't remember how it got really intense, but we would flirt and say she would be like, "Oh, MJ, I love you," and I'd tell her I love her too. And then she would talking about how she wanted to do stuff with me, and I'd tell her that I wanted to do that too.
Once, she lured Tommy out of his
I am so conflicted because the perv in me is like, yo, when I was 13, I would love to fuck my teachers. I would pay anything to fuck my 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Bradley. I'll do anything. When I was 13, that was like my wish. I wish. That was like my fantasy to fuck my teacher. But in another hand, I'm like, the parents must be devastated because imagine sending out your son to school to learn his ABCs and your teacher over here fucking him. Yeah, they'll feel some type of way. I'll feel some type of way too. So I understand. But damn.
She lured Tommy out of his grandparents' house, saying they could meet in her car parked down the street. Things officially turned sexual after a talent show one day.
We were doing a talent show thing, and I was saying bye. Me and my friend were about to walk, and I was saying bye, and then I grabbed my backpack, and my friend was messing with her computer, and then she was kissing me and everything, and she was like, "You want to go in?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "You want to go in?" I was like, "Sure." And then just anything, I didn't take my pants off or anything, but she was wearing a dress, so she just pulled her underwear to the side, and then I was in there for a minute, and I was like, "Alright, I gotta go."
Mrs. Zamora turned her attention to another young student, asking if his thing was uncircumcised. He didn't know what that meant, so she Googled some pictures. 3 different students went to Principal Dickey complaining about Mrs. Zamora. He began questioning different kids, and they all told him the same story. Mrs. Zamora favored Tommy more than the other kids. He got away with everything and got straight A's, even though he never did any work.
I was one of the witnesses are one of the people that saw Ms. Zamora and my friends with each other.
Was Miss Zamora.
This is like a kid's fucking. Well, this is my dream. Let me not say every kid. This is like my dream to be able to fuck a teacher and just get straight A's and skip class and just, oh my God. Yes, there's mental abuse, trauma abuse, but let me worry about that later. If that fantasy came to me as a kid, I'll be a stronger man.
Was Miss Zamora saying anything?
No, they're just doing it. It was very uncomfortable. So that's why the second day they're doing stuff, I just left the room.
Brittany caught on quickly. She went to Tim's office and bawled her eyes out, saying she only cares about two things in life, her husband and her career. In the aftermath, when investigators asked Principal Dickey if he ever talked to any of the parents.
So did you ever talk to any parents about the rumors?
I didn't, and I didn't, that was one that I didn't want to blow it up, you know?
So, while Principal Dickey conducted his own investigation, Tommy's parents took matters into their own hands. He began sleeping with his door closed and wanting more privacy than usual. So when his parents got him a new phone, they installed an app that would alert them to any suspicious messages. The app detects specific keywords, words that might concern the parents of a 13-year-old boy. When the parental version of the app alerted his mom about the word baby coming from Mrs. Zamora's Instagram account, she knew something was up.
I think every parent should be doing this, to be honest with you. Nowadays, you don't know what your kid's looking at. You don't know what they're searching, what they're browsing, what advertisement is being placed in front of their face. Yeah, I think every parent should spy on their kids. Don't listen to the fucking media that's telling you give your kids privacy. When I was growing up, I didn't have no privacy. No, I didn't even have a phone. And look how I came out. I came out amazing. Don't let social media mold your kid's mind. Don't let other people grow your kids. That's your job. I know there's been a lot of controversies about, teachers teaching the kids about transgenders and sex and how to have sex or whatnot. And you guys were outraged. Keep that same energy when it comes to your kids' phones, because your kids' phones, that's where they get all their information. And through the information that they're getting, that's going to dictate their character. So I 100% agree with parents spying on their kids and tracking their phones and seeing who they texting. I 100% agree. Props to these parents.
Bonnie has the child version,
Okay.
and Lennon has the parent version.
Okay.
So any keywords that I put in to look for, whenever it comes to this phone, message, pictures, anything like that, it will send me an alert. So yesterday I got the alert and I kept getting alerts back to back because the word baby kept being used. But this time I saw at the bottom that it had Mrs. Zamora Instagram profile.
Okay.
That's her name.
When Dad came home, he asked Tommy straight up, "Did you have sex with your teacher?" Tommy said yes. He ordered Tommy to call Mrs. Zamora so he could give her a piece of his mind.
What type of perverted person are you? I want to know right now. You're a child molester. Do you understand me? No.
Why do you say that?
Oh, gee, I'm a lot smarter than you.
Can we meet, to talk about this? Something we can settle out, outside?
Oh yeah, that's what we can do, so I can give you a chance to do it to some other kid. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. No. And make sure you tell your husband what's going on.
He's right here. Can he talk to you?
Oh yeah, put your husband on the phone.
She's done so much and she made a huge mistake. The biggest mistake that anybody could ever make in the whole entire world. But she can think about, God preaches forgiveness, man.
Your wife decided to be a monster and prey on a child. She scarred my son mentally. Do you understand what a 13-year-old boy did? Have sex with a teacher?
Oh, the husband is defending her. That's insane. See, guys, we're the only one that abides by till death do us part. I will love you till death do us part. If that was a fucking woman that called and said, yo, my daughter been touched by your husband, she would leave him immediately. The guy's on the phone talking about, oh yeah, she's a good person. What the Jesus, this is why I can't get married, because it's only applied to men. Only men follow the rules. Besides us cheating, blah, blah. We don't, like, we follow the rule. We follow it. We'll stay with you.
You get that at all? Do me a favor. Do not call this number back again. The next time you'll hear from me will be in court.
On March 22nd, 2018, Goodyear police pulled over and arrested Mrs. Zamora. When the detective brought up the relationship with Tommy, Brittany lawyered up. And her only response when she learned she'd be spending the night in jail?
I know they're gonna tear me apart.
Well, I mean, if you have problems with somebody, you can voice that to somebody, okay? And if there are problems, they can isolate you.
I am the best husband in the world.
You have the best husband in the world, but you cheated on him with a 13-year-old. You don't have the best husband in the world. Your fetish, your fantasy outweigh the love you have for your husband. That's just what it comes down to.
It took another year for Brittany to plead guilty to sexually assaulting her student.
Mrs. Kamara, you could get it. If I was 13, I wouldn't have snitched on you.
During that year, she and her husband refused to speak with the media. Tommy's parents sued the school, and Principal Dickey denied any wrongdoing.
Principal Dickey. Is his wife named Mrs. Vagina?
On Friday, June 12, 2019, Brittany Zamora officially pled guilty and was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Yo, Brittany could get it. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Brittany, when you come out, I'll be here. I'll be in my 40s, but I'll be ready.
She believes she's a good and genuine person who made a mistake and isn't a threat to society by any means. As of 2021, Zamora has spent her time in prison tutoring her fellow inmates. She and her husband divorced in 2020, calling their once perfect relationship broken beyond repair.
Of course. There's some stuff you can't go back from. I've said this on numerous streams. If you cheat on me, if you disrespect me, there's no going back from that. Because I know once you disrespect me, once you have no respect for me, the relationship is over. You're not about to date someone that doesn't have respect for you. It doesn't work that way. As soon as anybody don't have respect for you, I think you should not talk to them.
Brittany's lawyer went on the offensive as soon as the gavel came down. During a press conference after the sentencing hearing, she blamed Tommy for the entire ordeal.
Brittany is not a predator, and this was not between a young child and Brittany. This was a teenager. The teenager had boundary issues and was obsessed with Brittany. The teenage boy was very aggressive. He even was very persistent in asking Brittany about her birthmarks, molars, or anything else that could be an identifiable piece of information.
Are you guys really blaming a 13-year-old boy as a victim in this case?
That's not what I said.
Are you honestly saying that Brittany was the victim? You just gotta read that and walk away?
You blame the 13-year-old boy as opposed to putting the blame on the person that sexually assaulted them. Like, come on. See, this is the thing with lawyers. You guys, I understand you have to defend your client. At least come up with a reasonable argument. Don't just pick up the case because you want some extra cash. No one's buying that the boy is at fault here. Like, come on. That lawyer needs to be fired. That was a horrible defense. How are you going to defend a fucking predator and blames the victim, the 13-year-old victim? But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm out. Don't touch kids. If you like that video, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. So like, share, subscribe, and get me there.